Hello and welcome to this video. In our last video, we have already created our homepage for this site. For this video, I have already gone ahead and created this browse section of our website. So this is our browse section. So in this video, I will not be talking much about the design. Instead, I will be explaining how the setup of this website is done. So we are not using any backend and we have created JSON files to fetch data dynamically. So let's go to the code. So this is our project setup right now. So this is the public folder. I will go ahead and I have placed these JSON files in the public folder. Let's go to our source. So for our source, this is our browse section. So first of all, let me go ahead to the app file. Okay, so here you can see, let me close this for now. Here you can see we have this router, right? So we have created our home page, and with our browse path I am calling our browse component, and we have the dynamic path for the element that would be browse, and then the component category that would be buttons, nav bars, like that will also be calling our browse section, and then our element ID that will be showing our code container. So how this will look is, this is our browse section. Default is goes to the featured. Then if you goes to buttons, you can see here it changes to the buttons, and we see the buttons layout, and we go to the nav bar, it changes to nav bar. We don't have any nav bar right now. Okay, so these three things we have. So that is how it's going. Then for our show code container, we need to have the third element ID, that would be get code, and you can see here we will have the buttons, that would be our category, and the button one is our this component ID. Here we will be showing our component in this card structure. Okay, there we have a control. Here only one control, you want to center the data, whatever the component we are showing, you want to center it and not center it. So that is it. And we have the code here in the dark theme, and we have the copy functionality. So these are the functionalities we will have. So first of all, let me go ahead and explain this search bar. So let's go here. So first of all is the browse section. So let me go to this browse.jsx file. Let me close this, and let's go ahead with one by one. So let's first start with our data. So here we have our section, then the nav bar that is showing this nav bar, and in our nav bar we have this left bar, and this is the right bar. So for our left bar we have the side nav. So our main focus for this video is explaining this sidebar, how it is working. Okay, let's go to our sidebar, side nav. So this is our side nav. Here we have this input box, that is our search button with this search icon, and other than that we are having this featured section, that is our featured section, and then we are looping through this categories, and we are showing this categories.txt file text here. So that is these buttons. This is a feature, this is a static, and these are coming dynamically. And if we have our search button, so if you see, if I search here, it searches the dynamic content. Okay, so how this search is working, let's go back to the browse section. In our side nav I am passing three things. First is category, second is component, and the third is search. So first of all, the category. So for our category, in our use effect, I am fetching this dynamically, this data.categories.json. So how our data categories.json looks like is, it's an array with the ID and a text. Text would be showing and ID will be we will be needing to identify it. Okay, and go back. So this I am dynamically getting it from JSON file, converting it to the JSON, and then setting our categories and filtered categories. This filter categories state is created for our search feature. Okay, so here we got our categories. Okay, so for our filter search, so this is our search functionality. What we are doing is we are taking the target value, that is our search keyword. First we are creating an updated list from our default categories that we are getting from this JSON file, and then after that we are using this filter keyword. So we are doing it lowercase and then searching for our query, that would be our search text, and then setting up this filtered category. So this filter categories get updated, and then we are passing this filtered categories to our component. So if you go to our side nav, this is browse, this is side nav, and then we are looping through our categories, that would be our filter categories. Here we are taking it as a props. So let me once again explain this how this search is working. So if we go here, there are three things going on. So this all the categories that are showing here, these are dynamic and are coming from categories.json file. So these are the two data we have right now, that would be buttons and nav bars. So you can see these two data here. Okay, so this is our first thing. Here we are getting the data from. In our browse section, in our use effect, at the component mount, we are fetching this categories.json file, and we are setting our categories and filter categories. So at the initial point of time, our side nav will show all the data that are available in categories.json file here. Okay, so that is our first thing. Now our search bar. So in our search bar, this is our input for search bar. We have this onChange property that is calling this search function. So this search function is coming from this props, and we are sending these properties from here, that is our browse. So in our browse side nav, I am sending this search. So this search is calling filter search function. Now let's go to this filter search function. What this filter search function is doing, it is taking the value, that is e.target.value. So whatever we type will come in our query.json, sorry, in query, and then after that query we are using a filter to filter our list, and then we are setting up our filtered categories. Okay, so now after the search we have our filter category. So again we are sending those filter categories back with our categories to side nav, and here, so it will show us the filtered categories. Okay, so this is how we are working in this area, that is our side nav of our browse section. So here we will have the search bar and all the navigation points. Okay, so that's it for this video, guys, and in our next video I'm going to explain how the dynamic linking of these dynamic data is working. Okay, so we don't have a backend, that's why I am using this JSON files to get our data. If we were not using this JSON files, we will fetch this from an external API instead of a JSON file. The code will be same, we will just need to add here the external API link.